Just hit the button. All right. Greetings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. And we have
Ta-da!
yeah. And with this crowd, we'll probably have some very lowbrow toilet humor. And we have
So there's a problem with that, huh? Huh? You don't like toilet humor?
we have
Well,
the brainless
poopy's on you.
we have the brainless Steel in the chat, and this Jenny Morgan person, whoever that is.
Half the time I don't know.
Same, Jenny, same.
So, see, today's theme is National Fill Your Stapler Day, which is actually not today.
What?
What?
You're
What day?
fucking
What
with
day
us.
is it today? What national day is it today? Here, I'll look it up. National Day.
So, National Fill Your Stapler Day was actually the 11th.
We have National Coconut. Wait, hold on. There's a lot of them. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I got a few. I
pull
got
this
them.
up.
I've got
Why
them.
don't we have the audience choose?
We have Jewel Day, Canine Veterans Day, Dermatologist Day, Good Samaritan Day, Coconut Tort Day, Open an Umbrella Indoors Day. I think that's the winner. What the hell? It's supposed to be bad luck. Why would you do that? National Earmuff Day and Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day.
There.
480 and dimes.
480 and dimes. Yeah, that's the page I found.
Yeah.
Oh no, pennies. All that work for $1.59.
Mark Caesar, we have every day of the fucking year filled up with U.S. national days. It's ridiculous. Nerdy, would say you probably could put Coconut Tort in your stapler, but I don't think it would work very well after that.
No. It'd be very sticky. The Canine Veterans Day didn't sound too bad.
Brainless wants us to find him a girlfriend. Shit. I got to get mine back first.
Brainless, don't ask us. Don't ask me, anyways. I've been looking for 45 years and ain't got one, so
yes,
I'm no help.
We're a terrible crowd to ask for that.
Oh, damn it. I'm not logged into the chat.
Mark Caesar, Nerdy Rodent, okay, Doorknob Head, got in there.
Defill your stapler day. Yes, Doorknob, that's correct. Use your staplers. Staples, rather.
Well, anyway, the origin of Fill Your Stapler Day observed on the second Monday of March may not have the historical gravitas of more established observances, and we apparently not even covering it on the right day here. But it represents a kind of workplace mindfulness that is growing in popularity. The day was conceived as a lighthearted reminder of the small, often neglected tasks that when ignored can lead to disruption in our daily workflow.
Forget it. I'll do staplers, but the rest of stuff is your problem. Did all of us use, or did all of our elementary schools and high schools too, have tan or black Swingline brand staplers?
I remember them. They were the old metal heavy ones.
Yeah.
If you dropped it on your foot, it would break a fucking toe. They were so heavy.
Yeah, and they always worked perfectly, and they looked sharp, and they sounded great. They were just a total rush as far as I was concerned. I stole one eventually.
Yeah, those were great. Those are the ones you just stuck the paper and you just slammed your hand on it, and it would work. And the new ones, you do that and you break them because they're fucking cheap plastic. I broke a couple staplers doing that because I was used to back in the day when we had real staplers. So then there's that.
You shouldn't have to abuse a machine. You can just do it lightly. It's like when somebody slams my car door and they're going to get punched. I work for
Well,
hours
yeah,
getting
nobody
that thing so that it just closes like butter.
like butter, and here you are slamming it, you fucker.
You come on, let me do that to your face, man.
My last car, I had to slam the door to get the damn thing to shut.
Nerdy wants to know if we can focus on vajazzles. Is that when they bedazzle vagina?
National Jewel Day.
Is that a vagina that has been piercings? Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah, my ex had one of those. I made her take it out. I was like, that shit's in my way. Get that out of there.
As long as she didn't have any barbs in it, you know.
Yeah. I love slamming things. Me too, DKH. Especially when I'm pissed off.
Well, slamming itself is not a bad thing. It's not staplers. And
Yeah.
and mechanical things and
not
know?
new staplers. Yep, bejeweled the vaginas. Yeah, I thought so. Jenny, why are you so worried about your car? It's only a BMW, says Mark.
Well, it's a piece of shit right now. It's still broken down at the mechanics. I ran out of money.
Oh, are you serious? I didn't know you were without it.
I had a thing, and part of it is my fault because I'm stupid. My friend who's been giving me rides and stuff during this time since June, her car, which is an old Pontiac Aztec 2001, basic GM stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, she sprang a leak in the cooling system and the radiator, and I bought her a radiator and the labor to install it, assuming that she would pay me back, and she's not going to pay me back. So I dumped about $300 on somebody else's vehicle instead of my own.
Oh, Jenny.
That sucks.
That does suck.
I'm not entirely mad or hateful about it because, you know, I'm heading 50 miles to La Crosse and back once, sometimes twice a week. So she really has done a huge solid for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to get mad at somebody in that situation. It just is. I should have made it very clear and stuff, you know, typical money between friends sort of issue, and I did the stupid thing, and I didn't protect myself. And you know, I'll get over it. I helped her out because we're both on very fixed incomes in retirement, and she gets paid a fuck of a lot less than I do, and I thought I was at the bottom of the rung.
Yeah.
Bottom rung of the ladder, and no, you can even get less than I get. So I have this hang up where I take care of everybody else, and it's just what I do.
Yeah, I used to have a really bad habit of doing that and screwed myself a lot in the process. So I get it.
So if anybody else,
I did not write your name like that.
Hold on. If anybody out there has got $1,000 they can give me.
Unfortunately, no, I don't have $1,000 laying around.
Damn.
And I have to take Molly to the vet at the end of the month too.
Screw your dog. Well, no, don't do that. That would be really wrong.
Nothing major. I just have to update a couple of her shots and get her tags renewed.
No, I had put in your Kofi in the chat So if anybody wanted to help you,
Yeah,
and
that's
my
good.
phone auto-corrected your name to Jennifer, and I was like, that is not what I typed.
Yeah, so
I think
if
all of our autocorrects have turned Republican because they want to decide what you write. They
Yeah,
don't want to
right.
give you the freedom to do what you want.
Jennifer does sound Republican, doesn't it? Sounds like some Karen.
Hey, God damn, I'm not dissing on you any, and here you go, Karening me.
I didn't say anything about Jenny. Jenny's different.
Jenny's just the diminutive form of Jennifer.
Yeah, but it comes off differently. It comes off more like relaxed and happy and not so stiff.
It comes off as adolescent.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, especially when I dot the I with a little circle or a heart.
Okay, well, that might change it a little bit, but that's not the point.
Ooh. Speaking of hearts,
Mm,
tomorrow Taylor
mm.
Swift's Eras Tour movie, her version comes out on Disney Plus. Ooh, I can't wait.
Hey,
Okay.
dog's here too. Hey, dog.
Hello.
How is everybody, anyways? How are you, Mage?
Doing okay. Back hurts, but
Good.
otherwise I'm doing good.
Well, that's a pretty common thing for you, I believe.
Yeah, it's more than usual. It started hurting last night. I thought maybe it was the scoliosis kind of slipping out on me because it was like right in that spot.
Yeah.
But now it's like more up in the shoulder blades for some reason.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, there is referred pain. It's a thing.
Oh, this is pretty funny. Come across this. If you guys can read that?
Yes.
Okay.
If I had my glasses on and I wasn't cleaning them right now. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I can read it fine.
Alright. This game.
27 trillion circulation, unlimited supply cap, only one node, 25% of supply minted in last 6 months, 1% of holders own 30%. Just kidding, that's the US dollar.
Now, want to see the really ironic part of this whole thing?
Uh-huh.
No, I can't read it.
It's posted by Elon Musk.
Oh my God.
Could you make it bigger? Okay, these scam coins are getting crazy. Once someone just shilled me 27 trillion in circulation. Really? Limited supply cap for
That is
one
pretty much
node.
all true. But the ironic part is it's posted by Elon Musk.
What does Elon Musk smell like? A doorknob? I would assume he smells like money and regrets. You said regret too. That's great. Old money and regret.
I just thought that was incredibly ironic for somebody like Elon Musk to post.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
You know, that fucker really whines a lot about how our society, culture, and country and government for a man who's basically been handed his life by this country and its money. You know, it's a prick.
Yeah. I hear you.
And then you suck up to one of the worst human beings ever born because you're like the second worst human being ever born.
And then you're like, why don't people like me?
Jesus. Yeah. And he really does ask that question. It's like, dude.
I don't doubt that he does.
$1.80 in pennies.
Well, he has his own cult following of sycophants. Should be happy with that.
Yeah, well, he keeps trying to follow me. and so does James Taylor and Keanu Reeves.
Nope.
Oh, she
Well,
just
Jenny.
booted herself.
Well, how much
Dog says
I'm
he's
sorting my pocket change, people. That's what's going on here.
yeah.
So 13 and a quarter in quarters.
Oh,
Dog
like I
said he smells like a Tesla tire after it's been rolled
17.
around in a pig pen.
well, like I was saying is, but before we went on, I had that one time where I paid my rent in pennies.
All right,
Yeah.
I got $22 in pocket change.
Yeah, I renting for my grandmother, and she wanted to rent. So like, oh crap! So had a bunch of pennies laying around, so I put them all in a big box, and there you go.
Yeah, that's a lot of pennies, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of pennies. Well, to be fair, most of them were wrapped. They were already counted up and wrapped. So
You wrap
Being
your
autistic makes you really think of yourself first and others later. People pick up on that. That's one reason. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not like that. I am not that autistic guy. It actually I actually think of other people first. I think it's from being around my mother growing up because she was always like that. She never thought of herself first.
I'm not so sure about that.
I took an online ADHD test. More than a fairly sophisticated one. It was like 100 questions and stuff.
Yeah.
And my shrink has been wanting me to get tested officially. And the online thing said that it was severe ADHD, which maybe explains some things. I don't know. I just don't know what good it is to know at my age.
I was diagnosed autistic, but I do need to get a re-diagnosis because that was a long time ago, and the criteria has changed. But I'm pretty sure I still meet the criteria.
Yeah, I need to get off my lazy ass and go see somebody get diagnosed with everything. Well, the ADD I knew about, and my old doctor went through one of those, did one of those tests with me that's only accessible to like medical staff. And she just answered the questions for me because she was like, "Oh yeah, you got that. Oh yeah, you got that. Oh yeah, you got." And I looked at her and she goes, "I watch you every day, Beck. I know you do all these things."
Yeah.
So I didn't even have to answer the questions because I worked for her. So she just rolled right through them and then asked me the ones that she didn't know already, which was like a quarter of them.
Yeah. Another thing I need to get it checked up in and see if about PTSD. I'm fairly certain I'd have that in some capacity.
I feel like almost everybody does that's lived a life that wasn't perfect. I did the same test, Jenny. Told myself I don't have it and gave up after question 6. Yeah, which means you have it. Mark, I am jobless right now. I got fired for something really stupid.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that is I was just telling Jenny and Mage in the back before we came in that I have I applied for one job. It sounds like they want to hire me. The other one definitely wants to hire me. She actually just texted me right before we started the show and said, "I can pay you more." So, but the other one is overnights, and so I'll be working more solo, and it's at a domestic abuse shelter. So I'll be helping / protecting people. So the other one's also a medical office. So either one, I'm kind of helping people, but yeah. So I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to do. I asked the one that just offered me more money to wait till Monday. So she said she will wait till then because she really wants me to work for her.
Quite often, actually.
Do you have nightmares that feel really like you're reliving an experience, or at least emotions and experiences the next morning? That Orla, I have had that happen. One of the reasons I smoke pot at night, I don't want to know my dreams anymore. When I smoke pot, it knocks me out. I don't remember any of my dreams. Once in a while, I'll wake up and there'll be like that lingering, "Oh God, that was weird," and then I fall back asleep and wake up and I don't remember it. So
now it's legal to smoke in your state, correct?
Oh yeah, I have a medical card.
And it's legal in my state. Is it legal in Florida, Mage?
Medically, it's legal.
Okay.
Recreationally, it's not.
Though, I just
there's a lot
wanted to make a disclaimer in the public that we're going to talk about this.
But there are a lot of restrictions. things that make it difficult to get on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
The big
but at least
problem.
we all know that we're doing something that is legal where we live.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely legal. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, the last
okay.
place I worked, it's so legal here. The last place I worked, which was at a Catholic hospital, they let you smoke. It was okay for you to have pot in your system to work there. So that's how legal it is here. When the Catholic hospital allows it, it's really legal.
Well, one good thing about the Catholics is at least they believe in outer space.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And
not like
they
these
know the earth
evangelicals.
is round. Right. Exactly.
Oh, a siren!
Huh.
They're after
Wow,
you. Hide.
that fucker just blew through town at 60 miles an hour. Damn.
That's a good question, Mark. I kind of would rather work overnights by myself, but I'll be working with people with a bunch of mental health issues, so I'm afraid they're going to trigger me. The other one pays the same, but the insurance is either really expensive or I'd have to get it on my own. So, I don't know. I don't know yet.
Orla,
They both pay good.
I get dreams like that. I call them my hyper realistic dreams, where I can pause right in the middle of the dream and say, "My God, this is absolutely real." My mother is really sitting across the table from me, talking with me, and then I wake up
Wow.
and I'm depressed because it turned out to not be true, and I miss her and felt very sad.
I've had dreams like that quite often.
After my dad died, I spent a year and a half taking care of him 24/7 until he died, and after he died for like 6 months, I had this repetitive dream where he's there, he's walking, talking, everything sounds neat and normal, except he's got this mattress that is fused to his back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, talk
Wow,
about your
that's deep.
symbology, hey?
Yeah, right.
And that was pretty disturbing. I was real glad when those finally went away.
Yeah, no doubt. I used to have a dream every night of and I don't know why, but okay, so like right after my mom died, I ended up going to my sister's house. And so her back porch, I spent a lot of time sitting out there smoking. So in the dream, I was a little kid dressed up for church and sitting on those steps of my sister's house. And my mom was laying, I was sitting, my butt was on one step, my feet were on the next step, and then my mom was laying lengthwise on the next step. And she looked like she was like in the casket, right? Dressed the same and everything. But there was a hole in the center of her dress right where her abdomen was. And as I was looking at her, her skin like deteriorated and rotted and everything.
Mm.
That's
So
gruesome.
that was disturbing.
Yeah. One dream. One of the first dreams I had after my girlfriend died was I was stuck in the coffin with her.
Ooh.
Her body was decayed and all that, and I was stuck in the coffin with her. There was other dreams I've had after that that felt super realistic, where we were back in class and she was just sitting there, I was happy, I was doing regular things. Like, aren't you dead? And like,
Yeah.
she'd look at me like, yeah, like it's totally normal. I'm sitting here even though I'm died.
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm just sitting here talking to you, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. I had repeat that one repeated for quite a while.
Yeah.
It was always a little bit different, because it was like a continuation of events. It's really weird.
Yeah. I had another dream. I asked my mom in my dream, because we have one brother. We're not sure who his dad is, because my mom was dating this Navy officer when she was like 17. She shouldn't have been dating him. But anyways, they weren't officially dating. She didn't tell mom because he was like 25, right? Anyway, so they went out. They were at a party. He got her drunk. He got her pregnant. And then she said, I'm pregnant. And he said, I have a wife and 3 kids. And she walked away from him and never told anybody his fucking name. So in the dream, I was asking mom, what's his name? What's his name? What's Bruce's dad's name? And she couldn't talk. And I think that's because most of the time she was in the hospital, she was attached to a ventilator.
Mm.
So, but she did the 2 fingers to the eyes, 2 fingers to the page thing, like read it. And it said Michael something, and I woke up. I didn't catch the last name.
That's actually
Yeah.
quite odd to be able to read in your dream.
I know.
I'm able
I
to
know.
do that.
It was weird. But I have very vivid, like, I don't know about you guys, because I know some people like dream in black and white or remember things in black and white. I'm all color.
Yes,
Because
I'm
of
all
my
color
autism.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, but most people don't, like, people don't think back, oh, there was that crime that happened. That's why people have trouble remembering the color of clothes people were wearing. Because when their memories are in black and white. Or at least that's what I was told.
Really?
No,
From
you can't
someone who-
change an or to an and. If doorknob Bolton says no, then I say no.
What's up, Porpoise?
Hey.
Probably about 6-7 hours, Porp.
Yeah, Porpoise, you're pretty far away from me. I mean, that's at least a 17-hour drive, I think.
Hey, Porp,
No,
I'm coming
it's
to your
longer
house for
than
the
that.
eclipse, right?
Yeah, it's about an 17, 18-hour drive. De Morgan's Law.
You don't realize that I'm an expert mathematician, do you, Porp? I've just been faking you all. I'm the one who solved McMaster's query. Sorry, it's the truth. If you ever need any help math-wise, just give me a call.
You know, I am proof that on TikTok that the videos do randomly circulate and people find, because I keep getting new followers and I haven't posted anything on there in, I don't know, 9 months or something. A couple times a week I get a new follower. I don't even know how many I have anymore. I haven't even checked. It's ridiculous, but true. Keep getting random notifications.
Yeah, that's always fun.
See how many people are following me now. I have 875 followers on TikTok.
All right.
Yep.
I think I'm up to a couple grand. Not that I care.
Hello.
I just want to have enough so I can be on live and be on camera and stuff. Hi, Al.
Hey, how's it going?
Okie dokie. How's by you?
Yeah, pretty good.
So
Pretty good.
I almost called you Perp. So Mage, I didn't tell you about, or not Mage. Jeez, I'm sorry, Beck. I didn't tell you about my job offer, did I?
Ooh, tell me.
Well, I was visiting one of the gay bars in town, and they had, help wanted thing, and so I applied, and the guy says, "Can you start tonight?" Which was, like, no, because I was having somebody else. I'd have to start tomorrow, and he said, "Well, that would be fine. Here's the job description." And I just got a question with everybody: what's a glory hole?
It depends on which end you're on, whether that's good or bad.
You'll find it the first shift at work, I'm sure.
Are you the one standing or kneeling? If you're kneeling, I feel like it's a bad job. If you're the one standing, I feel like it's a good job.
My job involves putting chains on my knees, so
Jenny needs more slim streams. No, Jenny's quite crude just by herself. She doesn't need you guys to help her with it, for sure.
She doesn't need to add anything with the dirty hoe I picked up this morning.
Now entering glory hole. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Slim used to clean glory hole rooms. Are you kidding me, Brainless?
That totally sounds like a Slim job.
He would too. He wouldn't care. He'd fucking clean it.
Yeah, I can see that. You can definitely see him.
If you put on enough disposable outfits to burn it all when you leave. Yeah.
Beck said, always better to be called Stan than Neil.
Well, I wouldn't be too happy about Eileen either.
Hey, Eileen was my mom's name.
Well, tough life.
And people would call her Aileen and Arlene, and she'd go, no, Eileen, like Eileen on the wall.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, Arlene, and she'd go, never mind, forget it.
Just remember, people, if the word has some sort of Germanic influence, it's pronounced by the second vowel. That's why Eileen is Eileen, because it's EI, and it has Germanic history.
Yes.
Okay, but if it would be IE, it would be Elaine. Not that I've ever seen that, but it would be.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
So don't fuck your stuff up, people.
Oh, and they called her Irene too.
Well, there is Irene. Irene, yeah.
Not her
Way
Asian
closer
friends.
From a
Not her Asian friends. We forgave them because the L's are always R's. But like the rednecks would call her Irene. Yes, Sinister Porpoise. Put that up, Mage.
Which one?
Come on, Eileen. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, Eileen
Come On.
was her song. And when they played
Yeah.
that, like she would host our high school dances and shit. And so we'd always go up and ask her to play Come On, Eileen for her. And she'd go, ooh, that's my song. And she'd run out on the dance floor. And she'd be dancing with all my friends. And my friends wouldn't even give a fuck that I existed because they were hanging out with my mom. Because my mom was so cool. I'm not even kidding, dude. I'm not kidding at all. She went to a lockdown with us about 4 days after getting in a car accident. She had a cast on her arm. And they put a big piece of metal to put her bones back together in her forearm. And she was up there dancing with her cast arm stuck up in the air so she didn't hit anybody with it. With all my friends around her going, go, Miss Madsen, go, Miss Madsen, go, Miss Madsen, go, Miss Madsen. I swear, I'm not even kidding. It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so my grandfather was Irish-German, my mom's dad. So that's probably where Eileen probably came from his side. Yeah. Now. No picking on people with the name Eileen, nerdy. I might get offended. My mom had been dead for a long time. Anyways.
My mama's name was Loas.
Spell that?
Lois. Loas.
It's actually Lois.
What?
Lois.
Low as what?
Well,
Lois.
My dad always called her Loas.
He
What?
called her low ass. Really? That's great.
No. He would never disrespect her that way. She was the majority income.
Was she the queen of her castle?
Yep.
Good for her.
Nice.
Most men need to show more respect for women anyway, so good.
Yeah, it was rather upsetting when she decided it was time for her to buy her own car. And she went to the bank and they said, no, I'm sorry, we can't loan you that money unless your husband signs for it.
And she was like, motherfucker, I bought the car.
Oh, yeah.
I bought the other car.
She was not happy.
Yeah, I bet.
Even a little bit.
When was
that must have been before 75 or 70.
74.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It wasn't that far back in history.
No, it was way,
bullshit.
way
It was a
more
bullshit
recent
way
than it
for
should have
things
been.
to be. But yeah, they're probably. I mean, honestly, it never should have been that way. But given the history up to that point, they were 40, 50 years behind the times in that regard.
Oh, absolutely. At least 10 to 20, at least.
I mean,
Like,
We'll go back to that.
Rich white men in the U.S. don't want to give up their power, buddy. That's all it is.
Well, I don't give a fuck about them. I'm a poor white man in Canada, so I fuck them.
Hey, did you all get to watch Spooky's counter address on State of the Union?
No, does
No.
Spooky have a
Senator Spooky?
Senator Spooky?
Senator Bedhair put out a statement and I missed it.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Oh,
I'm way behind
it's really,
on
it's
content
really scary.
consumption.
She is absolutely like a robot, and she's the worst actress in the world. And
Katie Britt. Oh yeah, she's fucking crazy.
She became the Saturday Night Live opening bit. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, they did an opening bit on her, and I saw it, and I was like, the Saturday Night Live monologue, and it said Katie Britt, and I said, oh, I have to watch that. It was hilarious.
Who the hell is that? I don't know who that is.
She's a senator from Alabama.
Yeah, she's a senator from Alabama. She's a young, newer senator, and she is a Trumpian.
She's kind of pretty.
Is Alabama the state that just voted that every woman under 23 is now a concubine of a Republican male?
Oh.
Or did I mishear that story?
Say that again.
Is that the state that just voted that every woman under the age of 23 is now the concubine of a Republican male?
I don't know, but they're the ones that just made abortion totally illegal, and everybody had to stop doing IVF because they called little fucking eggs goddamn humans.
I misheard them ever so slightly. They were just destroying every woman's right to bodily autonomy in another way.
Yeah, and not just that, but now all of the MAGA is backstepping because now they can't do IVF because part of IVF they use what they can, then they throw out the rest of the embryos. They can't do that now because it's murder. So they stopped all via IVF in the state, and so MAGA's sitting there going, what do you think about this?
Yeah, there's no way to do that thing without having to get rid of some of them.
You don't want MAGA people being able to have children via IVF. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, we don't need 8 at a time from each family, right?
Yeah, the fewer MAGAs, the better. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
But hey, if they have a bunch of kids each, one of those children will learn to hate them and may kill them.
Yeah, maybe. Are we
because in my family,
in
my family, for instance, like my brother Keel loved my dad. The rest of us fucking hate his guts. Like he died and we were all like, well, that's over with. Like it was like that. Yeah. So, you're going to get a percentage.
Yeah, I suppose.
Hooray,
there's been a lot
I got
of
all my tags off.
cases of that.
I bought this really nice case from Harbor Freight. Yes, really nice and Harbor Freight in the same sentence. How about that?
Hey, you can find good stuff at Harbor Freight. You just have to dig a little bit.
They have these, they're all plastic nowadays, of course, but they're very heavily reinforced. They're absolutely watertight. And they're inexpensive. I paid $20.
It's a what?
Inexpensive.
No, what is it?
Inexpensive.
What is the item? Oh, a case.
Oh,
okay.
Foam rubber inside. Like, you pick out the things until you get the shape you want and stuff your crap.
Oh, like a Peloton.
Oh yeah, you can make them like for tools. You can make it for guns.
Yeah. Pick and foam. Yeah. Okay.
And I made it for my camera stuff because I was tired of my backpack. It was just too heavy and bulky and in the way.
Okay.
Anybody want to buy a camera backpack? Only $100.
$100. Wow.
It's a very nice backpack.
I can't afford 100 Canadian or American dollars. Never mind Canadian dollars.
It cost me $150.
Well, Al, it's because those backpacks are cut out and everything for the cameras.
I know. I have one that I bought years ago when I thought I could afford one, and I still have it. And I'm probably just going to keep using it, even if it is too heavy. I don't care. I'll just have it for the rest of my life.
If you guys are flashlight freaks, go to Harbor Freight. They've got this one flashlight. It's you hold it. It's 3 batteries, of course, LED. But it doesn't use just like one little bulb. It uses one of those cob strips.
Okay.
They put there's 2 versions, a 300 and a 500 lumen, and they're all aluminum. They got a big ass magnet on the bottom that holds it rather secure when you use it. They're only $7. And I mean, they're just absolutely bulletproof. It's one of the nicest flashlights I've had in my life. And I'm a flashlight freak.
I am too. I have I don't know how many. I have them all over.
It's better than any
so much of my childhood. I spent so much of my childhood without power because our power used to go out all the time. That you got to have fucking flash. I got like flashlights and I have like emergency lights. I have 4 different emergency lights in my house that are battery powered, and all I have to do is turn them on when my power goes out. Yeah.
Yeah, I got flashlights all over the place. But then I do have a lot of outages with being in Florida and hurricane season and all that.
Yeah. I don't do the candles because I have cats. So
Yeah, candles are really not that great. You
Yeah,
gotta
they're
go with
dangerous.
flashlights.
well, they make the ones that are LED now that flicker and everything. So if
Mm.
you want the candle effect and still
Yeah.
have light, you can get
Yeah.
those. And they're actually pretty cheap. They sell them at like Dollar Tree now. The
I do.
votives are like $1 for like 6 of them or something.
What
Yeah,
those fake antique bulbs?
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
pretty
those are
neat.
cool too. The new ones
That's
they made.
different. That's slightly different, but yeah, I've seen both of those. Yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah,
new
they call
Edison
them an
bulbs that they
Edison
came out with.
bulb, I think. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
just
Edison bulbs.
I just hate the advertising that everybody puts on LEDs. Oh, this'll last 55,000 hours or something like this.
Oh
I
yeah.
have never had an LED light bulb last more than a year.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my
I've
God,
had
I have
plenty
some in my
last way
house that
longer.
I've been using for years.
yeah. Something always ends up frying out on the circuit board.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They can pop, but I've had very good luck in our home, which we finished building in 2018, and every light bulb in the house is brand new. I've only had to replace maybe 6 or 7 bulbs of everything in the house, so
The
I really
secret
can't
on
complain about the LEDs.
the secret on the lamp type LED bulbs are that well, you got to cut them open to get in there, but the plate, the LED plate is got about what did I count? 12, 15, something like that LEDs on it, but they're wired in series. So if one goes, all go. But
Oh, see, that's
they
shitty.
usually burn out and literally burn, so you can tell which one is bad. And if you just peel it off the damn board and put a jumper in, it works again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard to do if you're you'd have to be just very slightly handy with a soldering iron or there's
then-
probably other ways, but that would be the reliable way.
And then because it doesn't get hot and shit like that, you can just glue the thing back together with that, one of those stupid little electric glue gun things.
Yeah. Although some of the drivers do warm up quite a bit in certain lamps. It depends on the setup you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a lot of the new LED technology is really amazing how much light it'll push, and the color's gotten better a lot over the last decade or so, and the price points come down to like somewhat near reasonable.
Yeah.
But durability and like, long lasting, and I've actually found like automotive LEDs are also more reliable for the most part. They're not perfect, but I found overall they've been really good.
They gotta start building those with the resistor in automatically, so that you don't have to fuck with the wiring on the taillights and
Yeah, if you like for
any of
for
the dual
blinkers,
filament, any of the dual filament bulbs like 1157s or 3457s or 3557s and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I like them for the bullet type lamp for license plate lighting and stuff like that.
Oh, they're perfect for like constant lights, blinker lights. It depends on the bulb. Some of them do have a resistor built in, but some of them just aren't available. And I think you're right. Some of those older style incandescent bulb replacements are just not. They're just not being built because that's not where they see the market going. I don't think. But
1157.
I got two resistors and soldered them on.
They absolutely build an 1157, 1156. They're the most common bulb on cars for 50 years.
Oh,
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
No, they are. Yeah.
Beck said that they have copper electrical tape that you could use for that, Jenny, to bypass it.
Yeah, that would probably work.
Me.
I didn't even know it existed.
Solder. Oh yeah.
The problem is that the adhesion doesn't conduct electricity, so you'd have to mount it on there upside down somehow, and you're still stuck to soldering.
Yeah.
It's a solder joint is just, especially if it's something that moves or is, subject to vibration, movement, whatever. Solder joint is just way more reliable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What I do to fix those.
Yeah.
what I do to fix those bulbs is I pull off the old LED, and I will then take a razor blade or a knife or something fine tipped, and I will scrape a gap in the conformant on the board.
Yeah.
And then just make my own little solder tracing between the two connections.
Oh,
No,
nice.
you just
Okay.
melt the solder into the joint, like
Mhm.
you've carved out like a solder puddle, and you just let it set. Yeah, that's a really smart way to do it, and then you're not fucking around with a little filament of copper wire or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, really? NASA certified? Cool. It's amazing how many people I have no clue how to solder. It's like, what? I've been fucking doing that since like 6th grade, wasn't it?
Yeah, I learned how to solder with the iron that went in the furnace to do
Oh,
like sheet
God.
metal soldering.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And then I worked on
use
learning
one of those.
electrical and plumbing soldering afterwards. But yeah, no, I'm sure you remember learning the old sheet metal solder and
Yeah.
how to use a brake, how to use a shear,
I
all
made
that
a
kind of
scoop
stuff.
out of a soup can.
There
A
you
soup
go.
can.
Yeah, that was our project in metal shop.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I made an RC car trailer out of sheet metal.
Nice.
And yeah, it'd be really, really dated look by today's standards, but that's like a flatbed trailer with a big metal cowling at the front to protect it from stone chips and stuff.
Right.
Like as though it was actually like it was a model basically. But yeah, I made that in sheet metal class.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Majestic silver solder and that's fun stuff. I used to love fabricating jewelry. All sterling work, no gold. I couldn't afford gold. Fuck, sterling is up to like $40 an ounce now. When we did it, it was like $5 an ounce.
I remember
Jesus.
hearing about this one guy who'd go around to all the jewelry stores in his town, and he'd just vacuum up all the dirt out front of the store, and he'd collect gold from it, and like process it. And
Oh
get-
yeah, because it'll
get the
come out on
gold out of
people's
it.
feet and shit. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, if people track it out, that's not a bad idea.
There's a chemical, there's like a series of chemical processes he had to do to get the gold out, but
Yeah.
There's people who do home gold reclamation off of circuit boards, and build up a supply and eventually turn it in for cash. Gold, that makes a lot of sense. It's what, 2,000, 1,500, 2,000 an ounce now.
Yeah, I toyed around with the idea of doing that.
Beck said he's wire jumped cracked circuit boards to fix his computer. That's awesome. I'm afraid to do anything like that. Like I have a laptop, and the big problem I have with my laptop is the CPU isn't fast enough. So I was thinking, well, I guess I could try to replace it, but I'll probably fuck something up.
You probably cannot replace it. Those things on a laptop are hard soldered in, and they've got 105 pins or something like that. They're a 16th or less inch apart. There's no way you're going to do that by hand.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So just get a new laptop like I planned. Okay, check.
Yeah.
So
brought up a lot of Bitcoins. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. I have somewhere. I was into doing some jewelry making, so I have somewhere, probably with my soldering kit, I have silver solder somewhere. Whole roll of it. It was expensive.
Majestic, I always wanted to learn that technique of making a coin into a ring. I think that's very cool how they do that. They basically turn the damn thing inside out. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Did anyone see the Oscars?
Yep.
Oh, so you saw the ending of it?
I saw the Jimmy Kimmel Trump part.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was going to bring up. If anybody hasn't seen it, let's see if I can...
That man is so fucking childish, petty. It's just
I know.
Unbelievable.
And everybody was laughing at him. It was great. I love it when they laugh.
Proud of something. I was wondering if I could share it with you. I just got a review, and has there ever been
Did
a
everybody
worse
hear
host
that?
than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars?
Yeah.
Yep.
His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again.
Once he said that, everybody knew. Everybody knew.
See if you can guess which former president just posted that on
No
social.
clue of what president that was.
Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
Isn't it past your jail time? I love it.
Yeah, that response is just absolutely heralded by everybody. It was
I know.
perfect.
Everybody loved it. Like everybody, every
fuck.
star, everybody was laughing at him. It must be getting under. I bet you he's watched that 50 times and it gets under his skin.
After that was a good zinger.
Is it past
Fuck.
jail time?
I can't believe you guys are still stuck with that numbskull.
Oh my
we
god.
might
Are
be
these
back-
people stupid?
And we might
I mean,
be
they're
back
literally
with them.
fucking stupid.
Well,
I'm
now
blown away.
now he's taken the whole party and it's his. It's don't even call it the Republican Party anymore. Just call
It's
it the.
Donald Trump.
Just call
Trump
it
party.
The MAGA
Trump-
party.
Trump MAGA Nazi Party.
Yeah. Well, you know, they put his daughter-in-law in charge of the Republican National Committee, and she already said before she got the position, she's funneling all the money to take care of his legal fees.
Yep.
And so all the Democrats are like, sure, go ahead and do it because you don't have any money for anybody else to run. That's a
Yep.
Republican now. So please use all the money that the RNC has to bail Trump out. It's not going to be enough anyway. Because he's just,
I'm okay with that.
they're not done with him. They're not done with him.
Holy fuck.
Yep. So Laura Trump, Eric's wife, is in charge of the RNC now. And the first thing she did, she fired 60 people.
Yep. They want
60
only loyalists.
Fucking
This is-
people. They,
see, this
yep,
is
they
the-
fired everybody that doesn't suck his dick.
This is their plan with this 2025 is when they get if they get Trump in, they will pass an executive order, Schedule E or is Schedule F, and it will give all the power of hire and fire from administrators down to the guys at the counter for all federal positions, and that power is in the president's hands. And
Yep.
so their intent is to fire 15,000 federal workers and bring in 15,000 loyalists that they have been training for the last couple of years.
Yep.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
That's what they want to
it's
do.
gonna
They
be
want to
It
get
absolute-
all
sounds-
the maggots.
It sounds like unbelievable, but with Trump, I fucking believe it.
It's absolutely true. Just go read Project
Yeah.
2025.
He's just a tall,
900 pages of Nazi.
yeah,
It's
he's a tall
frightening.
blonde Hitler is all he is.
I mean, there's like 4 or 5 people I'd believe that about instantly, and like the leaders of Russia, North Korea, and the USA, like not the current one, but like your former president, like come to mind immediately as the most likely perpetrators of that kind of crime against humanity.
Stephanie, Joanne, who is denying the Holocaust?
Mm.
Jesus, I don't know.
There's a
Did you
bunch
guys
of
already-
maggots that are denying the Holocaust. Hell, fucking Nikki Haley couldn't even say that the Civil War was about slavery. She wouldn't admit it.
Oh.
Well, it was about companies and money and no bitch. It was about slavery.
It was
They're trying to
about
act like it
it was
was
about
something it
getting rid
wasn't.
of free labor that
Yeah.
people.
Tariffs is
People
what they were claiming
treated-
it was about.
Jesus.
See, all
Yeah.
these idiots forget that they kept notes and wrote transcripts and stuff back then too. And you just got to pull out the right document and read it, and everything
Yeah,
Well,
was
they're
said
trying to
about it.
they're trying to destroy that too. They're trying to make it illegal to teach children the truth,
Uh-huh.
Here we are.
and
actually,
and they'll probably burn all those documents too. Like I can't fucking believe it, but it's fucking happening all around us. It's a sad state of affairs.
The number one group of marginalized people that they are going after are trans people, just exactly which is what Hitler did. The very first people to go after,
Yeah.
and he's doing it the same way. He's going after the people on one arm of it, and he's going after the documentation and treatment centers on the other end of it.
Well,
Yeah.
for those who think it was tariffs, not slavery that people were going for the Civil War was. Well, here's the Mississippi Declaration for secession in second sentence. Our position is thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery, the greatest material interests of the world.
What's her
Right
first
there.
line?
In the moment, instead, which our state has taken of dissolving. It's basically just saying that this is what we're seceding, and here's the reason why.
Okay.
And the very next sentence is slavery. That's the reason why we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Mississippi. That's their. This is the Mississippi one from 1861. So I have got this nice little. I actually had it running with this. It's not that long ago, so I happen to have a site with all these different kind of strips on it. So that you can, if you want to look at that, there's that thing I was just reading. Has all the their declarations from the different states. You can read through them.
Yeah, and it's slavery, folks. In case anybody was wondering.
Yep,
it was slavery. That was the whole reason for the war.
And again, for those who want to say it was tariffs, well, just do a word search for tariffs. You can just go through that list, see if you can find anything even mentioning tariff. I couldn't find a single one.
Now, for you folks that semi follow this stuff, the Confederate flag that is used, the rectangular X thing, that was never the flag of the Confederacy.
Nope.
The flag of the Confederacy was an X flag that was square, after the St. George's flags of the UK back a couple hundred years ago. And the flag was used by one Virginia regiment for a very short period of time. But then it was kind of like not used. But the one group that has used it from their very inception all the way to today, the KKK.
That's right, ma'am. You nailed it.
So when they talk about, oh, it's our heritage, no, it's your KKK membership.
It is. It's the KKK used that flag. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think
it's my heritage. I want to remember that we were slave owners. Fuck you.
Majestic, I wouldn't watch that show just because they had that on the car. I was completely offended at that.
I had no idea. I had no idea what the hell that thing was. But
I didn't either until I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s and saw it again, and I was like,
talking about the orange car show.
Oh yeah, Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, I like, and it was called the General Lee. Like, as a Canadian kid, I was just like cart chases and shit. Like, I was like, I didn't fucking know. And
I didn't know either. I never made the connection.
Where they were. I was just like, Waylon Jennings was the balladeer, and that show was just really fucking popular. I mean, it kind of fit in with all the other shows I watched at the time, like Knight Rider and the A-Team and stuff, like just explosions, car crashes, fucking chases, and I didn't really give a shit what else was going on. But yeah, no, it's I remember the movie, they made a big deal of that. People yelling at them for having it on their car, right?
And you'll notice the strong resemblance to the state of Texas.
Yeah, but we also had other racist shows running around the U.S. at the same time. So nobody was going to say anything about the racism in Dukes of Hazzard. They didn't say anything about it in
this is the closest one they have.
Shit. What's that? Family, All in the Family, or whatever it was called?
All in the Family, but I think that show was meant to hold a mirror up to it.
Yes,
exactly. In a way that there's a lot different. Like, I think the Dukes of Hazzard was just meant to, like, I don't know if they were perpetuating like racist stereotypes. Like, I just don't remember anyone but white people being in the show.
There was only white people. They had no way to be racist to anybody. You're correct. Yes.
Yeah. And I like, and honestly, I, as a white kid growing up in Canada, like, it didn't really strike me as being that strange. All TV had a whole bunch of white people on it. It was very common to not see people of anything other than white, and in fact, like, our country like had laws to promote Canadian content because most of our content came from the US. So there was that sort of cultural dichotomy too. Like we would see shows, they would make and produce and push shows on us that were Canadian made, just to try and make sure we didn't lose our Canadian culture, I guess, was part of it. But the vast majority of what people watched was US made, and it was consumed en masse here, and a lot of it I never gave any thought to until I was an adult and became way more aware of where a lot of things came from.
Anyway, this is the 1861 to 1863 flag, and this one's the 1865 flag. This is probably closer to what the closest you get to what they use as the Confederate flag nowadays.
So, yeah, the one that people think of as the Confederate flag.
Still, that's just a little box with the white and red stripe on it, though.
Thank you, Brainless. I'll watch that later. Why don't you put that link in the chat?
What's it a link to?
A YouTube video about the Confederate flag.
Oh, cool.
Brainless doesn't have
There's probably a lot more to it than
thing.
And all these other.
Oh, you can't. Well, make Brainless the mods. So that
I don't have that ability.
Oh.
Brainless,
okay.
just send it to Mage or me, and we can.
No,
don't send it to me.
I'll get it. I can do it.
Okay.
It's just a pain in the ass. That's all. But I can do it.
Yeah, I have control over StreamYards. I don't have control over the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different. It's a different.
An admin is not the same as the owner. Yeah. You're a number 2, not a number 1. Right. We get it.
Now let's see here. YouTube chat. Paste. Boom. There it is.
Good job, Jenny.
Did I miss all the talk
it's
about,
really nice being able to do
Staples?
this. It's really nice being able to do this stuff with
And not
the
get
new
kicked?
StreamYards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 4 applications open right now.
Oh wow! You didn't used to be able to do it. You'd have to leave to send me a couple pictures that you wanted somebody to show.
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And if I tried to do anything else, it would choke and toss me off. And overheat the phone and all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and by the way, just so everybody knows, we do not support the people that wave the Confederate flag around. We're just discussing how fucking horrible it is.
Yeah,
we are not promoting in any way, shape, or form. No,
this was a history study, not a.
Yeah, we're not trying to recruit people into hell.
Well, I will admit,
I'm
when I was a little kid,
admitting to my ignorance.
I will admit that when I was a little kid and I had no idea what the Confederate flag was, I thought its appearance appealed to me. I thought it was very cool. You know, red, white, and blue and the stars. I thought, oh, that's just a neat way to do American flag. Yeah, okay. It's not.
I can understand where you get the idea from.
I just assumed it was an American flag from, you know, I mean, you have to understand, I grew up in an area where they didn't teach us about stuff like slavery. I didn't know how bad General Lee's side was. I didn't understand that. So I thought it was, it's named after a general and it's got an old U.S. flag on it. And that's what I thought it was.
Well, it didn't even register for me. Then again, I was like 5 years old when that show ended, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I was a lot older than that when that show ended.
And now the one star of it, John Schneider, is an absolute dyed-in-the-wool idiot MAGA.
Oh yeah, he's psycho. Isn't it horrible?
I haven't heard from anyone that was on the show.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of them.
I just want to know what happened to Daisy Duke. She was so fucking hot.
Catherine Bach, yeah, I don't know if she's still alive, but she.
What the hell's her name? I can't remember.
Catherine Bach.
Fuck yeah. You know she's
Okay.
still alive.
Is she still alive?
Yeah,
She
she's still
don't look
alive.
that way anymore. I promise you that.
Well, I don't either. And I never did.
Apparently her last thing was on The Young and the Restless.
Oh,
Really?
She was on that. I had no idea she was on that.
Oh yeah, she don't look that good. I mean, she can still see she's in there, but she's not thin like that anymore.
Yeah, well,
Nobody is.
I'm not holding anybody to that kind of standard. And
I mean,
just don't think it's fair.
For somebody who's in her 60s, though, she looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Melted.
The one thing that bothers me that Daisy Dukes kind of created is if you take a look at lots, not all, of course, but from my experience, most high school and college girls and women's volleyball all wear Daisy Dukes. And it's like, why don't they get to wear shorts like the guys do?
Yeah, right.
Why do they have to be showing their goddamn pussy?
Actually, she's 69. She's
my
gonna be
age?
70 next year. She's gonna be
wow.
70 next year. Yeah.
She's
So
my
she
age.
looks pretty fucking good for 69, 70.
Well, so do I. Come on, look.
Oh no, I know that.
Oh, you're beautiful.
I was comparing.
But are we like we're not gonna rank people though, right?
No.
That would be unfair and wrong.
Yeah, because I don't want you guys to rank me higher than everybody else, and they'll all feel
Right.
bad.
Yeah,
so.
no, we're not gonna.
Just
we would
be
never
honest.
do that to you, Beck. We don't want you to have to.
Just
live
be
with that
honest.
kind
Who's
of-
better, Catherine Bach or me?
That was the most flattering picture I could
Always
find
you, Jenny.
of her.
We don't even know her
she
political
really-
views. I know
yeah,
you.
I
She
ain't
really
got
don't.
a fucking clue what she thinks about anything.
There was one other one that kind of looked like her face was melting, but I think that was a catch them off guard kind of thing. I'm not gonna.
Well,
go
they
into
do
that.
that shit. They always try to find the worst pictures to post about.
Yeah, this is the most flattering one I could find, so I'll go with
That's
that.
the first one I found.
That was the
I don't
one
know
on
why
that's
they
the one
do
on the
that to people.
Wikipedia page.
Yeah, it's on our Wikipedia.
That should be. I realize a lot of celebrities make a lot of money, and maybe maybe people think it's their fair game for whatever. But I really think people that are in the public eye like that should not constantly have to worry and watch over their shoulder their entire damn lives.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I know some of them put themselves right out there, and maybe they're fair game, but a lot of people are just making whatever they do, and they're maybe compensated for it way more than the average person does for their job. But some of the way they hound people is really terrible, and yeah, like the idea that they're looking for the worst damn photo they can find of you, like find you on your worst day and put that out there as like some sort of like that's who you are. Like that's a bullshit way to treat people.
Mage,
if it wasn't for paparazzi, Lady Di would still be alive.
Mage, I have.
Seems right.
Come on, can I talk now?
Please do. Sorry.
Mage, I sent you 3 images since we're talking about what people do to themselves. The right wing just rants and raves and says horrible things about trans people because they change their body, and it's not original. And
yeah, what about?
Well, let's take a look at a few Republican women and what they've done to themselves.
Yikes!
Yeah,
Hell yeah!
Botox?
Let's get up here.
I bet some of them took lasers in the eyeball.
I'm gonna tell you what, my ex,
Hi, Amber.
medical. Hi, Amber. My ex, the medical provider, does Botox, and the people that she has come in and do Botox are all rich ass fucking white women that think they're better than everybody else. And I guarantee you, if they are not Republican, they're on the verge of it.
Is this last one real?
Yes.
Oh no, is it Joan Rivers?
No,
I'm just kidding. She had some kind of like mental condition. She kept fucking trying to move her face around.
Oh yeah, things got weird with her. Did I scare Al away?
No, he keeps popping in and out.
You don't scare anybody away, Amber. You're a sweetheart.
Whenever he gets the urge to overtalk everybody.
He kicks himself when he gets the urge.
Okay,
Who the
there we
fuck
go.
is that?
This is Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend.
Oh
before and after. Can you believe she did that to herself?
My God, she was
somebody-
beautiful.
Beautiful.
I mean,
Why
she
would you-
dated Donald Trump Jr., so she clearly
Well,
has, a
mental
self-destruction
conditions.
kink. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just tragic. It's so horrible. I mean,
Oh my God.
you know, when a trans woman has FFS, facial feminization surgery, it's not that radical. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
no.
not even anywhere near that radical.
No.
You know, and for these people to be bitching about us when they do that, it's like, fuck you in the.
All they
thing
do
down
is
there.
lighten the cheekbones and the jaws usually isn't that all they do, Jenny?
No,
Brow
They were-
ridge, pinch the nose a bit.
Oh, okay.
they will tend to put in for some a little cheek silicone to give more prominence. They will shave the mandible to less of a 90-degree bend at the rear and more of a sweep. They will deal with the peak of the mandible and reduce that a little bit.
Yeah.
As Ember said, the brow. Most males have a prominent brow in their skull, just above the eyes, and they can bear down on that a little bit more and make it more presentable. And the nose,
Yeah, okay.
as Ember mentioned, also. Some people go crazy and get all the lips and shit and all that kind of stuff, but it certainly isn't. It certainly isn't most.
Wow, she
Should I go-
really fucked herself up.
Should I go
Okay,
to the
go
next
ahead.
picture?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, do it. Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Who the hell is that?
I don't know any of these people.
I don't
This,
either.
what's her name? She's a kind of a pundit, commenter, nobody, influencer. I don't know what her is. What is her name? Is it Laura something? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting her name, but that's what she
I
used
don't
to
know.
look like.
I can't
We don't
stop
know.
looking at the bad face. I can't stop looking at her. It's like,
It's again a tragic situation. Why did
Oh my
you do that?
who knows, man?
I personally
Like she had her
really
eyes
don't-
widened too.
I really don't like fish lips, so
Yeah. Like only guys that want really big lips around their. Never mind.
yeah, rooster fish.
Yeah, that's it.
So I guess that's all I'm gonna say. This one I don't get.
Beck said the pic startled me when I looked up and I spilled my joint fixins on the floor.
No.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
This one looks like she was injecting oil into her face.
It looks
Have
like
you heard-
she's gonna get an infection and fucking die.
Have you heard about that? People injecting oil to like get
Oh yeah.
artificial muscles and stuff. That's kind of
Yeah,
what
well,
this
they
looks
do
like.
that overseas, and they end up losing their arms and shit
Yeah.
because the oil gets infected in because their system's trying to reject it. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
meant to
what-
be in there.
Yeah, that's what this looks like to me. But I don't know. So who is this?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't
She's-
know.
No, it's a face that is circulating around several different angles, and so I believe it's real because we've seen so many different angles and shots of her.
Hmm.
Wow.
But
Yeah, it doesn't look
you'll
faked.
Yeah, you see somebody like that, and then, yeah, you're going to take a picture of it. It's holy fuck.
The
Okay,
fuck
now that
is
we've-
wrong with these people?
Now we've done that with, but after just saying we weren't going to be judging people.
Well,
Well,
It makes
not-
my dysphoria feel a hell of a lot better.
I don't feel like I'm judging the people. I'm feeling what I'm judging their choices, and I'm judging what the medical establishment allowed them to do to themselves.
Yeah, because of money. Yeah, really.
And most of all, it's not what they did. It's the fact that they're then hypocritical and attacking trans people for doing comparatively minor changes facially and things like that. Yeah, bottom surgery is very radical and things, but
Mhm.
don't just stop the hypocrisy.
Yeah. No, it is.
but-
It is when people like that want to point at people and say you shouldn't change your fucking bodies. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of conservative women that have all kinds of work done.
Mm. And I like Can I just ask a question? Just I don't know if it's relevant because we are talking about like a group of people, and they don't go after those people in their group that do these things, but we don't know that those specific people had those surgeries and also like specifically have called out trans people, or we do know that.
Some of them probably, but the thing of it is, it doesn't really matter because the people who are pointing at trans people and judging are giving these people a free pass. They're giving the 15-year-olds getting boob jobs so they can cheerlead a free pass, and Frank Turek getting his breast tissue removed a free pass, and so on.
Al, it's like this situation that, okay, I'm a trans woman, and what if I wanted to have breast implants? Well, I could go to a plastic surgeon and talk to him about it and all this kind of stuff, what we'd like to do and things. And then I would have to get an approval letter from one or two psychologists, a medical doctor, before they will do it on me. However, if your wife wants to go in and get breast implants and say, okay, here's the date, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah, now, it's like if you've got the money, you can do it.
Now, I understand why they'd want to do that with somebody who's like new, a kid or kid 19, 20, whatever, and know that they're, working along the WPATH guidelines and stuff like that. But I'm an adult and I've transitioned 45 years ago, probably longer than the doctor's been alive.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I need your permission. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, it is a bullshit thing. I'm not arguing against that. I'm just like I'm just wondering, like, we don't know that those specific people are hypocritical. We just know many hypocritical people exist on
I'm
that
sorry.
side,
No,
right?
Al, no, I'm not going to cut them any slack whatsoever. They live, eat, and breathe right-wing hate.
Yes.
Okay? All of them.
And that's fair then.
And no, they don't get any slack whatsoever. None.
Nope.
Yeah, and I don't live amongst the American right wing. I hear a lot about it, but I don't live there with it the way you guys do. So obviously you have a much different interpretation of it. Like, you see it every day in your media, but you also probably feel it as you live your lives there too, right?
Go vacation in Alberta, you'll see what it's about.
Yeah, I'm going there next month. They've been pretty terrible to trans people from what I can see, and I don't understand why. Like, I can't understand why a single thing they put into action.
It's a right wing province. That's why. That's the only reason. That's the only reason any of this exists, is because the right wing needed a target, and they went off after us starting in 2015, and hasn't let up. And so we're being attacked by every right winger on the planet. Okay, none of this ever happened before. Okay, I have been in it for 45 years. That this kind of treatment and discrimination and hate never existed towards trans people until 2015, 2016, period. Nobody can deny that. If you have lived through it, you know that it wasn't, that it's true, that it was perfectly fine. People had questions, some people were afraid, some people were hostile, but it was not an entire half of the population coming at you wanting to eradicate you.
No, not at all. No, I don't remember this being an issue until, like you say, very, very recently. Yeah, less than 10 years seems right. Like, it just wasn't on my mind. And I honestly didn't care what people did. I still don't personally, but I only care because I'm worried about all of you. Anyone that's living as a trans person and can't live their lives in peace in a theoretically free democratic country. It's fucking scary.
Well, good, because if Trump wins, you're going to get a lot of new neighbors that are trans.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to join us here. You're welcome to join us here. And maybe Alberta's not the best place to start.
Check
guys. We're pretty reasonable.
Check the private chat for a second.
Yeah, I've heard Ontario has taken proactive steps, going all the way back to the 80s when they were like the first province, I think, to ban conversion therapy.
I'll be right back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, shit's
I'm,
been kind of wild.
Yeah, I can't believe some of the stuff that comes up, and I am like, I don't think we've got everything right here by any means, but it is very disconcerting. And Jenny's 100% right. They're going after them because it's an easy scapegoat. It's such a small percentage of the population that people with other stuff on their minds that don't actually know trans people directly and haven't gotten to know what wonderful people they are gonna think something else is more important, but real lives are being destroyed, and that's not fucking cool.
Absolutely.
Hell, trans people can be shitheads too. It's not it's not necessarily not mutually exclusive. There's no trans ideology really. There's just an ideology. I've got very, very little in common with Caitlyn Jenner, for example, at least politically, and perhaps I don't qualify for the same level of athletic renown as she does, but it's just very curious that the people who are most vehement about trying to police trans people are not trans people.
Yeah.
We're just sort of the convenient whipping girl, to use Julia Serrano's phrase.
Yeah,
At the
like
moment,
if there were a legitimate problem in the transition guidelines, the trans people who already transitioned would be in an uproar. Yes,
there were tons and tons of the modern pioneer in trans care, Harry Benjamin, was very, what's the right word, Jenny? Jenny would probably have a better word than I. But it's just sort of, if you were pretty enough, he'd take care of you. In the episode of Tales of the City kind of gets it right, with Jen Richards, arriving in San Francisco in 1966, and the ladies on the street saying, "Oh, you're pretty enough. They'll help you." I mean, it's been a long evolution, and it was, as Jenny said earlier, it was sort of moving in the right direction, to the point at which, in 2015, the Time magazine had Laverne Cox on the cover, transgender tipping point and stuff. It was going in the right direction. We had a good run of it, really. I mean, from basically 2000 to then, it was like, hey, everything's cool. It's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but you're all right, and you do what you do, and then all of a sudden it became something to scare the children with, which is kind of disappointing. I mean, it was very nice, it was becoming, oh well, this is really cool, and it just has gotten to this weird place, and it's still, there's a Facebook group, Women of J24 Sailing, and put a picture up of you and your crew on a J24 or something like that. So I put a picture, my little picture of me being extraordinarily joyful after finishing second at the Worlds in a race, and I was smiling, and the photographer comes over the boat and said, "Keep smiling, Steph." And I said, "It's going to be hard to stop me." But I put that picture up, and I got like 4 or 5 of my friends saying, "Hey, we miss you, Steph. We haven't seen you in a while because we haven't been on the circuit. We haven't been outside of our area. We haven't gone to a major event in a couple of years. But it's still fine. Most people are fine. It's the problem is that often those fine people aren't working hard in their states to clap back against the atrocities that keep getting passed. Like, you know, like I posted in the live in the side chat that 2 days ago, the National Health Service decided that in England, just in England, not in Scotland or Wales or Northern Ireland, decided that they wouldn't be giving GnRH analogs to trans kids to prevent early onset of puberty. They'll still do it for cis kids who want to prevent the early onset of puberty. It's still an on-label use, but they won't do it for trans kids. Now, what does that say?
Yeah, it says they just want to destroy people's lives for no particular reason, or take away a modality of treatment for something that they have every right to attempt.
That's been in place for over 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a
it's
lot
too late
of
for me, but
all healthcare, but this one seems it's like there's a lot of stupid decisions that are made in healthcare around the world, I'm sure, but this one seems nothing but mean-spirited.
Yep.
I think that's exactly it. It's, you know, the Next Benedict situation really, really highlights this sort of passive-aggressive mini genocide that they're trying to perpetrate, where no single person is actively doing direct harm, with the exception of the girls who beat up Nick next in the bathroom. Everyone is just being as close to incompetent as they can get away with and keep their jobs, and basically just going, if you die, not my problem.
The important thing to keep in mind about the whole thing is that it is not the medical profession that is after us. It's the politicians who pass laws that don't allow them to do their job. The vast majority of medical personnel and the public at large are supportive of trans people. It's the same thing like abortion. You know, there's definitely well over half people want to see abortion legalized. But the politicians are ignoring it and going after just what their own pet peeve and personal hatred's all about.
And what gets them votes? What solidifies their base? What keeps their donors shoving money into their pockets and keeps them in office, basically, is the drill. And until we figure out a way of shutting off that pipeline, it's going to be very, very difficult to turn the ship around, because all you need is the institutional. You develop a certain amount of institutional inertia, and you can't do anything. And we can't count on the kind of inertia that was headed in the right direction to keep going unless we keep fighting. And make people aware of how hard the struggle is. You know, it's like when these things happen, it's like I'm not going to sit around and argue with J.K. Rowling about whether or not the Holocaust involved queer people. I'm not going to argue that point. It's a historical fact. So it's not worth arguing with her on Twitter. But what is valuable is pointing out that you now essentially got this woman being a Holocaust denier. This is where this shit leads.
I haven't heard about this one.
I hadn't even heard that one, but
it's today at 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, really?
That's today. And George Takei tweets back at her, "No, this really did happen."
Wow.
Jeez.
Could you give us the backstory on that? I would like to hear the quotes.
Yeah,
I can't get it myself because she's got me blocked.
hang on a sec.
Nice.
I got
Yeah, you can only deny part of reality for so long before you wind up having to deny large chunks of reality.
Yeah, I mean, I can point you at the tweet, I suppose. Wait a sec, I might be actually. I do have. Hang on a sec. Let me find that. I gotta be in the right spot to do this. Sent. Wait a minute. Hang on.
The new tack that everybody should take who's an ally or who's trans when it comes to all this is to no longer entertain the arguments like Stephanie was saying. But furthermore, we should be making it clear that the question is not us. We are not the bad guys here. Okay, the entire right wing is the bad guy. They're the ones who are denying science. These are the ones who are denying their own religions and recommending eradication. And that's the word they use. It's and so I won't just try to fight facts like Stephanie says. I'm going to go right to what's wrong with you that you behave this way towards us. What is wrong with you? You know that you're listening to nothing but lies, but you want to keep it up. You come here every day to harass us. You'll spend your hours and hours each day doing it. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is mind-blowing and boggling and everything.
Well, going to the private mode actually still works. You'll be able to see he posts that are blocked. Wow, she got worse since last time I saw us.
Fuck.
Being evil is a degenerative disorder.
What's a degenerative disorder?
Being evil.
Being evil, yeah. Like you keep degenerating into further evil. Like you don't get less evil as time goes on. You just get keep on adding in upgrade packages.
Right. So I'm being facetious, but there is a psychological phenomenon involved. Maya would know the proper terminology and shit. But the TLDR is that everybody likes to think of themselves as a good person, but when you start crossing your own moral boundaries and doing shit you know is bad in the name of what you think should be right, you end up having to do more and more egregious stuff to keep justifying your righteousness.
I've got a screenshot of that tweet.
Okay. All right. I gotta go, guys. But and girls and everybody, thank you for letting me join in.
Well, thanks for I'm glad to have you.
Hey, it's great. Great.
Yeah, nice to catch you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Can you read this? It's a little hard to.
Can you read
here.
that?
No, I can't read that.
I can't see it either.
It says the Nazis burnt book on trans healthcare and research. Why are you so desperate to uphold their ideology around gender? Oh, I'm sorry. That was the response.
That's what she was.
J.K. Rowling asks, or her first comment that starts it is, how ? Question mark. How do you type this out and press send without thinking I should maybe check my source for this because it might have been a fever dream.
It wasn't a fever dream. There's a Scientific American did a whole effing article on the Institute for Sexual Research.
For evidence, you folks out in the chat, and that you can spread to other people to teach how absolutely full of shit these liars are, is the common pictures that everybody has seen about the Nazis burning books. Those are the pictures from when they burned the Institute. Okay?
Yeah, when they burned
it was
the
their
Institute
first
library.
action, and they wanted to record it, and they did. And you got the books, and the guys throwing them in the fire, and the big fire, and it's right out in front of the Institute. So there's your proof, J.K.
Notice what George Takei had to say about it. This is in fact true, and it is in fact true. I just before you guys got going, I did 45 minutes on this thing, and read from that Scientific American article about the Institute for Sexual Research.
You folks also want to know another really horrible fact about this? Yes, sexual adventurers, let's say that, use that word, were the first targets. Absolutely. Everybody had to wear a pink triangle that was upside down.
That's where that
so they
came
could be
from.
so they could be easily identified. They were treated just as badly, just as, burned and killed and all this kind of stuff. When Auschwitz was liberated, all these people with the pink triangles were told to stay in there. They can't come out. That was by the Western troops, American troops, Russian troops. All you guys got to stay in. We don't want you. And it just makes me so mad that there are so many people that are so ignorant and hate-filled that they can't take something that is a documented, understood phenomenon of human existence that has no control over it by anybody when it happens, that they are going to destroy people. That would be like taking somebody who was born without a leg and saying, "Oh, sorry, you can't exist."
To me, the worst part of Rowling's going down the Holocaust denial route is that because of her ideology, because she is so ideologically committed to making sure that trans people don't have a path to be who they are, they have to be erased not just today, but for all of history. I mean, like, deny that trans people and queer people played a role in Nazi ideology as targets to be eliminated for the purity of the race is to deny history. And it's not just, and there were people in the replies to that saying, well, it was queer, it was homosexual people, that it didn't include the trans people, which is never the case. It's never been the case. I mean, all of the stuff that happened in the 60s in San Francisco that got started with the Compton cafeteria riot, those were trans women. Those are trans people trying to have coffee at night. Stonewall, the largest transgender organization, helping organization in the UK, is named after Stonewall, a riot that in New York that happened 2 years after. Was it 68 or 69? I forget. But 2 or 3 years after, it was the people who were in the vanguard of that were trans people. And in order to keep that so-called gender critical position, they're going back and trying to erase us from history.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I gotta go because I'm about to drop into the shopping store, grab groceries, and there's loudness. But I just wanted to throw in that I've been going through Abigail Schreier's book today, or rather, a YouTube version of it, and she actually literally does that. She says that the people who started the Stonewall riot were African American lesbians, and these damn trans people are trying to take credit.
Well, you see that if you look a little further, you will find written interviews with Marsha P. Johnson where she denies being the person who threw the first brick.
Hmm.
There were a number of trans people who were involved in the Stonewall
Oh
riots.
yeah, that's true. But the lore is that it was started by a trans person. No, that's just not true. At
Oh,
least according to the person they attribute to doing that.
Yeah, I don't think it was Marsha that threw the first brick, but Marsha P. Johnson was one of the most outspoken people during and after, along with Sylvia Rivera.
Yeah, she always was, and she certainly deserves tons of recognition for what she did and who she was and stuff. But we've got to not tell that myth anymore.
The Compton cafeteria riot was started by one of the women threw a cup of coffee into a cop's face, and that got the cops into beating people up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there were other actions, riots, whatever you want to call it. In Washington D.C., there were some. It was this is a time of the Lavender Scare. And so there were not just trans people who were at issue, but it was gay people everywhere. Police were abusive, and in New York, lots of the bars were owned by the mafioso, and their thing was, okay, if you pay us enough money, we'll let those gay people be in the bar. And so that was the pressure that was on the owners, and what they had to deal with. So the whole system was upset by Stonewall when it finally happened and lasted for several days. So,
yeah, and in the end, in the interests of public health, when moving beyond Stonewall, moving through the 70s into the 80s when AIDS started happening, Mayor Ed Koch, who everybody's kind of thinking might be closeted, Mayor Ed Koch just found a way to close down and clean up. So as the phrasing went, get rid of the undesirables, get rid of the bathhouses for public health reasons. Right. All of that whole scene was just, it's a long history of stuff, and you're right. From the Lavender Scare to the out and out, there were laws against cross-dressing in San Francisco. You could be arrested if you were dressing in clothing that didn't fit your gender.
If you had more than 2 pieces of clothing that belonged to the opposite gender, as they put it, you would be arrested and thrown in jail.
Yeah. Or roughed up, or just or robbed.
Yeah.
The cops would take your money.
By the way, something I learned. The information comes from the Wisconsin Public Television. Did a 2-hour story about gay people in Wisconsin, or the whole movement really in Wisconsin, but primarily about gay people. And Milwaukee is credited with the first establishing of open gay bars in an urban area, in a city downtown. Up until that point, they were regular bars that kind of on the QT. They said, "Oh yeah, it's safe to go there," but Milwaukee came up with the first one and says, "This is the gay bar from day one," and that's just kind of neat. That Milwaukee's my town. That's where I'm from, and that was only in the '60s.
Boston had quite a little network of establishments catering to gay people in the 60s and 70s. And they were all very cool. Again, similar thing happened as soon as the AIDS epidemic hit, and they started closing them down for health reasons.
Well, see, I'm not gonna say anything bad about that. I think it lasted too long. I will certainly say that. But initially, we had no idea what we were dealing with.
No, we
and
did have
and
no
and
idea what we were
and
doing.
and panic may not be justified, but certainly understood in that situation.
Yeah, you can wrap this up pretty soon here. Keep going for maybe another 15 minutes or so.
What? We can't go till 6 o'clock.
Well, we could if you lived in New Brunswick.
Well, it looks like our audience might be going over to Slim pretty soon here, and
In about
that
45
time,
minutes.
about 45 minutes. Yeah.
All right, we're just going to have to burn that Slim Studio, if anybody knows where it is. If you've never been to Slim's show, go. Well, Slim Cyborg knows a lot of things that I had no idea that they knew about.
Yeah, we'll put a link before on the way out here.
Yeah. You can figure out how to channel the entire crew. You can do that too.
Me, I'm going to make breakfast.
Really?
Yeah,
I got to get blood drawn tomorrow, so I can't eat. Lucky me.
Fun.
Are they going to do both the red and the white blood cells?
They're going to do the whole thing. You know, they're going to look at what the cocktail is in there.
You missed the joke. So they're going to draw the blood, red and white cells?
Yes. They are going to. I think they are including all the corpuscles.
Yeah. Who's the artist?
I don't know. I don't know who the artiste is, but one hopes that they're going to be able to punch a vein quickly.
They should hire Banksy to do those drawings. I love Banksy. What a just totally cool human being.
Some studio protected by Deep State Annex.
Yeah. Well, we spent an awful lot of time dwelling on the horrid. What's good? There's something good?
About what?
About anything. Anything good. One thing good that's on the terrible topic, though, is that at least the American Psychological Association came out at the end of February with a full draft statement, a full-throated draft statement.
I haven't read it, but I heard about it.
It's very good.
What's
it's
it on?
Full-throated on trans healthcare. Like
the legitimacy of it, the need for it, all this, how much bullshit is being said about it these days is what I heard.
Trying to tell all the used car salesmen that are sitting in state legislatures that are passing these laws that they're full of shit.
Yay!
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
Good to hear.
Wow. Amber, good for you.
Yeah. Right name, right gender, right everything. Good. So that's good news. That's very good news.
Yeah, it's
super good news.
That was a nice good thing to end on. So, I guess since we usually take a little while to get to start with you, Stephanie. What do you get to plug?
Well, you can go if you haven't been infuriated enough. You can go watch the 46 minutes of streaming I did just before this little thing. Drop a like and all of that happy stuff there. I don't know what I've got coming. I think I'm on Women Atheists Unload on Skeptic Haven this Saturday at 4:30, talking about more of the same, and stuff here and there. It's getting warmer, sorta, in this neck of the woods. Spring is coming, so I've got to sow furiously to keep people happy. And yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Jenny,
What?
what you got? Got anything?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what you got?
Sunday.
Sunday with Beck. Yes, I'll be there as
Yes.
well. Usually.
The Beck Show. Like, this is
Where's Purple today?
Stuck in Wisconsin, picking up his van.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just misgendered. Holy fuck!
Holy huck!
I haven't slipped on perp for well over a year.
Need to finishing her brother's project is what I heard. I don't know what the project is, but
it sounded like they had to do some final assembly and that kind of junk to the truck, van, whatever it is. That's how I took the message anyway.
What about you, Mage? What do you got coming up?
I'm working in a long-term video here that's going to be out in probably a few months. I finally got my genetically modified tomato seeds. I've got them planted up, so that's looking forward to that. We got a whole thing working on that. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do in the meantime for a video. I was thinking maybe doing like a video on weeds, or maybe might do something to kind of honor rather than do a thing on sensu beans. A little Akira Toriyama, do something on sensu beans and speculative how they grow. Maybe do something like that.
What's a sensu bean?
Oh, the sensu bean is a fictional little bean found in the Dragon Ball series that was created by Akira Toriyama, and it's a cure-all thing. Basically, you eat one and you restores all your health and strength and all that.
Oh, get me a pound, would you?
Yeah, and I was thinking about maybe doing like a speculative how they grow and all that.
What are your tomatoes genetically modified to do?
To be higher in antioxidants, and they used snapdragons for the genetic material.
And what about their lycopene?
What about their lycopene?
Well, what did they do about that?
Nothing I know of.
Oh, okay.
Basically, all they did was they took these two genes from a snapdragon, stuck them into a tomato, which activated a gene that was already in the tomato.
You know what cool thing they came up with? I just heard about recently. We all know our little zebrafish that they fucked with and will glow. I think they took firefly or some biophosphorus. What was it? Biofluorescence, and mix the genes, and now they got zebrafish. For your aquarium that glow. That they did the same thing with a petunia. And so you got this petunia where all of its trunks and stuff glow at night. And then somebody had a picture and it was like, holy cow, that is cool. I think they're probably going to be kind of expensive to start.
Bioluminescent people, that'd be fun.
Or if they could do portions of people, just a spot on your back or something, or a little on the top of your bald head. Or other places down,
as long as it's not a pattern of like it's a target or something, that'd be no good.
Hey Amber, I'm not going to get personal here, but sometime I would like to talk with you about stuff. And that's all I'll see in public domain.
Stuff.
Glow in the dark dick.
I have a vague memory of a movie of a glow in the dark condom and the two guys fighting each other like swords.
Oh, jeez.
I see your shorts is bigger than my shorts.
Yeah, glow toes would be cool too.
Mm.
Now, of course, there's going to be a population of people that want their butthole done, you know?
Well, you know, we were talking about odd plastic surgeries earlier, so yeah, I guess.
You know, there's another weirdo plastic surgery that happens. There are men who go and spend tens of thousands of dollars to have them break their femur and put in some bone so that they can become taller.
That's silly.
I think they can do like 2 inches. I don't know if they can do more than that, but that's what I heard to start with. 2 inches for tens of thousands of dollars.
No thanks.
I wonder if they could take out 2 inches. I donate.
Mm.
But they got to pay for it.
Managed to get in just as we're wrapping up here.
Hey, Randall.
Yeah, we'll go for a few more minutes so we can, set it down at the top of the hour.
Rhinoplasty? No, you're never going to be able to make rhinoceros any better looking than they are now.
There's one thing I wanted. There's one thing I wanted to do with Molly's stuff, but doesn't really fit into gardening. So I was thinking about just tacking it in on the end of a video. So well, this isn't gardening stuff, but here's something. So.
Oh, Mage, Molly's daddy. Did you see the dog at the Academy Awards at the Oscars?
I didn't watch the Oscars. I only heard little bits and pieces of what happened.
They had a border collie in some movie, and so the border collie was there in the front row watching the Oscars, and it applauded, when the rights, when it was approved of the stuff, it would applaud and things like that. They were fake feet, but nonetheless, it looked good and it was funny. I'll see if I can find a link for you to look at.
Got something to say?
Oh, I'm just done with the grocery store.
Oh.
Jenny, is the thing you wanted to talk about a thing we can talk about on the air?
No, I'd rather not.
Well, we were wrapping up anyways, but so you got anything you want to say since you're on here?
Remember the Alamo?
How can you forget?
Right.
I have one final thing to say then. Return Texas to Mexico.
Or the entire northern half of Mexico to Mexico.
Well, no, okay. I think the citizens would love it. They all say how much they hate these drug dealer kind of guys who are running roughshod. So suddenly, if they become part of the Mexican nation, then they can go out and take their little pew-pews they have and go and pew-pew the bad, terrible drug cartel guys.
Well, it'd lead to a civil war between the Northern California and Texas over who gets to dominate the new Mexico that includes New Mexico.
Now, wait, would this void my chance to be able to be president if the area got retaken back to Mexico? Because I was born in El Paso.
I don't think so, because you only have to be born in the United States at the time. I don't know. We need a new constitution anyway. Screw it. Scrap it. Start over.
It'd be nice if we started by paying attention to what the original one has to say.
I don't think
one that we've got right now.
I don't think we want to do that. I don't think we want to do that until we get the Republican majority down to nothing. Or we're just going to have a Nazi document that we all are forced to live by for all of time.
Well, that's the thing. There isn't a Republican majority. It's entirely gerrymandering and election interference bullcrap.
And they're damn good at it.
Also, got to get all the dark money and corporate money out of the system, too.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're almost here at the top of the hour here, so...
We
Oh.
are ticking that way.
Ticking
20
Now,
seconds left.
are we living with the rule today that if we go over, we have to stay another hour?
Nope, because we're not going over that
The
much.
hell with it, me says.
4, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya, everybody.
Bye bye.
Yeah, Happy
Don't
New
get caught.
Year!
Don't get